Stuart, I'm in here. Come on in. So I am visiting my Eugenia Topiaries, some of my angel wing begonias, some of my geraniums, to just kind of see what shape they're in and what kind of work I might want to do on them before I bring them home. Now, they are so healthy. Oh my gosh. I mean, look at these. These are absolutely gorgeous. You may recall that these are the ones that I inset down into a ground level hole, and they kind of circumscribe the patio. They give me lots of privacy. I've had these 4 years, and look at how big they've gotten. So really what I wanted to check out was just how much have they grown? How much will I need to prune them? Are they looking good on all sides? Have they lost a lot of leaves? Are they barren of their leaves? And actually, they are looking pretty good. So Stuart, if you want to come this way, you can see. And this obviously houses not just my stuff, but other people's things as well. And look at how happy these are. I mean, these guys are really happy. Look at that one over there. These both happen to be doubles, and they are in very good shape. Now, the size of the ball heads is still actually pretty good, and I'm going to be doing some light trimming on them, mostly just for scale. So since I don't see any sign of disease or pests, that's a good thing. And I know that all I'm really going to have to do is just prune these for scale, because in here, of course, they look kind of overly large, but when I get them at the cottage in their designated spot in situ, I don't think they're going to look that large. So this is just a little shaping up. You guys, I know, are going to ask me, these are wonderful. These aren't my Barnells, but these are equally as good. These are Okasuni long bladed pruners. These are, let's see, well, it doesn't have exactly the length on them, but I really like them. Of course, I'll put a link below. And I'm just going to do a little pruning, but mostly I'm just here to kind of see how things are doing. So this is and honestly, if I didn't go back and look at my pictures from last year, I don't know that I would remember exactly how many of these I had. But these started out being Eugenia Topiaries, which is my love, that I got, gosh, probably at like Walmart or Home Depot or something, for under $20. I know, under $20, and they have just grown up over time, and I just kept planting them in larger pots. Now, it's important to say that these are the ones that I put in the ground. You may recall that I dug big holes, so I sink them into the ground so it looks as if they are growing out of the landscape, and they're not. But these are plastic pots, so they're really easy to move in and around. Even I can do that. This one side looks a little bit more bare than the other side, so I'll do, and yes, I will clean up my clippings. I'm not doing a whole lot here. But yeah, these are looking good. So here is specimen number 1. Here is specimen number 2. And it will have some dead spots on it. So I'll be probably doing a little more clipping on this, but nevertheless, it's still happy. And to know, again, this doesn't, very happy. It's not showing, yeah, it's not showing any signs of disease or anything. So that's all to the good. Look at this. Oh my goodness. My olive tree. Look at all of those buds on it. So that's pretty incredible. That is very incredible. These go in the back, Here is another darling of mine. This started out not that large, but boy, it has grown considerably in the greenhouse. And this one is triple tier, and I will definitely have to do some pruning on it. And then I've got another olive tree over here, and it looks like it might have a bit of scale on it or something. So I will plan on, as soon as I get it home, while it's outside, but after I'm pretty sure that the temperature's all right, I will probably, and it's not a bad infestation, but I will give this a spray. I might even come back here with a spray bottle and give it a dormant oil spray to suffocate those. I'll have to be cautious in here because this is a heated greenhouse. And then I've got another one over here that's in more of a conical shape. And oh my goodness, I forgot about this one. I've got another small one back here. This one was in a pot. And it's showing signs of some kind of pest, which just sometimes happens when you put things in the greenhouse. But all of that will be addressed. My elephant bush back here is very happy. Okay, come over this way, Stuart. You can see my elephant bush back there. And then there are just some things that we just stuck in pots because it was doing so well. So I'm happy to see that we did save, because I couldn't remember what we saved and what we didn't, some of the diamond frost euphorbia. And I don't even remember what this was, but whatever it was, we saved it. So it'll be fun to clip all of this stuff back and really give it a good feed and see how it starts to grow out and how happy it is. So that's kind of fun. And then I always like to see what other people have in the greenhouse. Lots and lots of foxtail fern. And I definitely think that's what this stuff is. And you guys know I love this.
When we need Jurassic Park to be seen.
Yes, and I definitely, yeah, that's true. But I definitely am going, I think some of this is John Turman stuff. I recognize some of his stuff in here. So I'm definitely going to want to put some foxtail fern on my wish list. Most of these succulents, these are not mine. And the guys do know which is mine and which is not. Oh, Stuart, over here, I can see I've got lots of the giant guys in the corner are, I don't know what those are. These, I don't know if those. Oh, those. Oh my goodness. Yeah, those are some kind of, they look like huge phormiums. Here's a question of the day, if you guys know what those are. Obviously those belong in somebody's very tropical garden. And back here, Stuart, if you'll follow me back here, I'm gonna have to repot and do a lot of trimming back and reconstructive work on my geraniums, but boy, am I anxious to get my geraniums back. And I've got also some fern back here. These Eugenias, that one looks maybe it's not a little dry. Probably needs to be repotted. Here are some more. Oh, this is a scented geranium. Oh my goodness, a scented geranium. That's wonderful. Look how much it has grown. So a lot of these, I'm just going to have to do some trimming on them, but it always makes me happy. Here's a little olive tree. Yes, oh yes, there's a little double ball Eugenia. And it always makes me happy and gives me a jolt of dopamine to come and see my friends and remember that before too long they're going to be able to come out of the greenhouse. So very much my signature style, topiaries, love it. Wanted to show you these so that you'll know what I'm up against once they go into place. They won't be perfect once they're in place, but they'll be, at least this year, I think, pretty close to perfect after I do some trimming on them and a little bit of pest spraying. So let's walk around, I think. Let's walk around and see if there's any treasures here. This is not a retail outlet, you guys, but I do want to show you some of the treasures because it might give you some ideas.
It's an idea outlet.
It's an idea outlet, and I can give you some ideas for, kind of garden ornament, garden staging, and that kind of thing in your own gardens. So let's take a look. Okay, look at these. Aren't these incredible? These, I think these belong maybe to Fanny Bolin or maybe a commercial installation. I don't know. These unbelievable succulents. They've got such great vertical drama. There's lots of citrus monsters. There's lots of citrus in here. Bromeliads, just lots and lots of fun stuff. Oh, I recognize this little guy over here. That's my guy. It'll be so much fun to come and reclaim, bring my little orphan babies home. Got some cactus over here. But it's getting kind of steamy inside now, Stuart. Let's go outside and see what wonders abound. And this is definitely in response to a frequently asked question I get over and over again this time of year, and that's, what should I do with my amaryllis bulbs after they have quit blooming? Well, these obviously are at their peak right now. These were color blends varieties. Some of them bloomed at Christmas time, but believe me, if they bloom at Valentine's Day, that's fine with me too, and these are still going strong. But how do I care for them once the blooms have passed? Well, number one, I'm going to cut off the stalk, the spent flower stalk. I'm going to cut it back just about to where the bulb starts. Then I'm going to, for a while, I'm going to let this foliage continue to grow because it provides the food for the next period of bloom. Now, depending on where you live, depending on what variety you have, the timeline will be completely different. It doesn't really matter if your leaves are coming out and you are encouraging them to grow and it's February, or you did this past December. It doesn't really matter. This is basically just the chronology of what your bulb will do. So let it continue to put out new growth, encourage the leaves to grow. I sometimes find this is the most awkward stage. I'm not sure where to put them because I don't have a greenhouse and I don't have a lot of room, but maybe you do. So just stick them in a window, continue to water them, encourage the growth. growth. After you have done that, for a couple of months, maybe even 6 weeks, what I do then is I take them out. I slowly withdraw the watering. I take them out and I put them in a paper sack for them to dry. Then after they have dried for a while in a cool, dried place, in the spring, I then pot them up and put them outside in massive containers. And what I do is I just make sure that all of the same type of bulbs, variety of bulbs, are in the same container. I let them continue to grow on. They can continue to put out just foliar growth, which, if they do, is beautiful as just a specimen plant in your garden. But most likely what they're going to do is put out beautiful flower stalks, not at the traditional time like at Christmas or in February or in the winter, but in the summer. They're going to be absolutely gorgeous. The bulbs will get even bigger and you can continue to use them. What you have to let go of is wanting them to bloom on your time frame, not on the bulb's time frame, and let the bulb tell you what to do, how long it's going to grow and put out leafy growth, when it needs to go into retirement and dormancy. But you know, if you're not going to compost them, you want to re-encourage them to bloom, then why not try this? Get them to bloom in summer instead of in the winter. Okay, you guys, look at these absolutely fabulous Magnolia Espaliers. I'm sure these are for a client. These are probably baby gem magnolias, but aren't they absolutely fabulous? Espalier, by the way, most of you guys know, but if you're a new gardener, Espalier is just growing any kind of specimen into a flat profile, typically on a wall. In this case, it's on a grid, which will go up against a wall. And it's just a very, very English, very, very cool effect. Now, I'm peeking behind here because there's all sorts of pots and just little fun things. In fact, I'm going to get out of the way, Stuart. Look at the little wrought iron baby furniture back there. Yeah, it's just kind of fun. Gives you ideas. So beautiful Espalier, and let's just walk around and see what else we can find. They're full concrete.
I like the broken ears.
Yeah, but they're kind of fun. It makes them human to have broken ears. Look at those big pots over there. Okay, let's.
Just everywhere we go.
Just everywhere. I know. Just everywhere. Well, all of this concrete pottery, concrete container plantings, finials, it all just kind of makes me swoon because it's aged so beautifully. But I also know that increasingly, especially for my really, really large pots, I just have to do more faux concrete than this heavy stuff. Partly because I just have to move so much of my stuff in and out. It's prohibitively heavy. The other thing is I'm always tweaking it myself. And increasingly, I just can't move even a little bit some of these bigger pots. But there are some smaller ones that are absolutely brilliant. And if I needed to do some shopping here, I probably could. The fish, yeah, well, I'm sure that's a fountain too. Oh, this is actually something that you'd see pretty much around pools or something. I recognize that face. Look at these concrete troughs. Now these are absolutely, these are incredible. My friend Marquette had so many of these at his house. Okay, so many of you have asked me what the large multi-trunk small tree hashtag or slash large shrubs are that are on the east side of the cottage, and they are Yaupon hollies, and I did get them here, and these are beautiful ones. Look at how dense they are. These are really, really beautiful. What I like about this form is that you can see through them. They're still evergreen. You can thin them out if you want some transparency, and you can lighten them up a little bit. But also I love them because they're just Oklahoma tough. Yeah, aren't these incredible? I think that must have been a fountain too. These are magnificent. In the right, in the right setting, something of this magnitude would look kind of ridiculous at the cottage, but boy, are they brilliant and really gorgeous. Absolutely. Yeah, I think they're doing all sorts of restoration work. They're building a new portico in the front. They're doing all sorts of things. So it's probably a little bit messier than it normally would be because they're doing a lot of work here. Okay, let's talk about over here for just a minute. I sometimes think we forget how large boxwood can get in Oklahoma, but this is how large it can get if it's in the right spot, and it can become kind of a small tree, and we've got some kind of laurel behind it, but that's a beautiful composition. Really, really gorgeous, and it's very healthy. Look at this. I mean, yeah, metal and huge. Metal and huge. Okay, one of my favorite fireplaces of the fireplaces I have known, and one of my favorite places to shoot. Stuart, do you remember we did an encore azalea shoot here? It was absolutely beautiful. I think they had the fire going for us. Really, really fun. This whole area is just magnificent. And here's another example. I want to show you this boxwood. I think this is a Green Mountain. But I mean, it looks great like this. This is the kind of form that birds absolutely love. But boy, I would be itching to take my clippers to this because you could transform this into some kind of magnificent shape. Yeah, it's really, really big. It's happy, perfect environment. But I mean, look at the size of those Japanese spreading yews, just huge. And part of the reason that they're huge is because they are back here in a protected area where they just aren't so exposed to bad ice storms, to bad heat, to bad other things like that. They're just protected and kind of happy. Protected and kind of happy, how we should all be. And here's another example of a magnificent Yaupon holly that has been beautifully, beautifully pruned. Love, love the trunk. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on this little visiting my baby darlings out here in the greenhouse and at my friend John's. It's been fun.